Like we said, it's going to be the one player on the team of Team Rocket that's going to be able to change many things. All right, we do have a sap onto the Paladin of Toes, and it looks like the teams are going to get ready very quickly. Prankcat already using his Divine Protection right away to get a sprint off.
Yeah, and he's actually caught into a poly right now. You see Stolen Kiss got onto Snuts real early after that sap on Toes. So it looks like training the Warlock, that's definitely the right strategy. If they can keep him from rolling out dots, they'll at least be able to stay alive 2 to 3 minutes into this match and maybe wear down the MLS as a mana.
And look at this, they're going on Pooks really hard. They know if they can force him to bubble, he's going to be a good kill after. But look at the quick switch onto Toes. Man, this team from Taiwan is putting out so much damage.
That's what I was talking about earlier. You know, it could really go either way if they exploit the weaknesses of the mage, which we're doing here just a second ago. You see him pumping out those polymorphs, just disrupting all that damage. Toes in wings right now, taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to pick himself up with a few flashes right in the face of Gucci, who's unable to get out of that Nova and do anything about it. Oh, a beautiful, looks like a hammer into a Howl on Prankcat, and he is just kind of wandering out into the middle there. That could be a good setup positioning for them. Actually, he gets passed right back behind the pillar. Snuts eating a blind. Both these teams even distribution there, but Gucci out of cooldown, grits Toes in, it looks like, to stop some of that damage. They get him into a kidney. Gucci sitting in AMS right now, getting back into about half. Prankcat doing work, trying to get him back into not fall over dead instantly range.
Yeah, now
when it comes to Shatter.
The situation right here that's going on is Toes already used his bubble when he was focused before, and a Paladin without a bubble is definitely a viable target. You see him doing a great job of remembering the little things such as CCing the pets on the other team, especially that Death Knight one. But the team of Skillcap is going to be focusing on Stolen Kiss, and look at that, a huge burst of damage. He is in a deep freeze with a fear onto Prankcat right there.
Yeah, and he's got no cloak for a full minute, down to 25 HP. There's an imp CS on Prankcat, and that should be him ticking down. Wow, 1K health gets brought back up barely. Prankcat just doing all sorts of work. Stolen Kiss brought back up as they kite around. Gucci getting feared out, but not before he's able to peel for his teammates there just a little bit at the time when he's not out of this yet. And there is the step and dance on Toes without his bubble. They know they've got to go hard on Imp Garrett, and he does get back out of that. Freedoms himself to try to get across the arena. And Snuts rolling out dots onto Stolen Kiss. Just going to get back on him as he fears the rogue off of Pooks. And that will give Pooks an opportunity to throw around some polys. Prankcat caught into a short poly. Pooks silenced, but he's got big damage up. He's got Brain Freeze and Fingers, and he's going to put that to work on Gucci, who spikes with rolling dots. Prankcat doing work in the middle still, but honestly, he's a little wide open.
All right, now here we go. We are going to have a HOJ onto Stolen Kiss right there. Prankcat doing a good job right now. He does have his trinket up, and he knows the game's going to go late. You see him use that Divine Plea right there, but Stolen Kiss still sitting at half right there, trying to use that pillar for line of sight, but the team of Skillcap knows that you can't let a rogue re-stealth, but look at the damage onto Gucci also right now. Yeah,
Gucci's been spiking up and down this entire match. He's got Freedom and AMS on. Gets back out. Here's some spell steals flying out of Poots there as he pops that Evocate to get the mana back in a grip on his Evocate. That's going to starve him from mana there for just a second. Only sitting at about, I'd say about 1/3 of his max mana, a little closer to half. And the pressure on the mage is going to be important for them. You see Gucci sticking to him, throwing out some death coils there. Just trying to put the pressure out on him, make him use his cooldowns defensively. I haven't seen a block out of Poots yet, and that would be a really good thing to force him, especially to get out of line of sight.
Oh, look at that here with the ring. Oh, that's not going to be good for Rocket. He uses his trinket right there, and Paladin being a viable target to train, it looks like they are going to be choosing to go on the Rogo in this matchup.
Yep, and I believe he's got Cloak back up. He has not used it here recently. He didn't use it offensively, so it'll be good to see him hang on to that. It could give them a really good opportunity to take out Toes here just a little bit longer this match. And that was a trinket, stolen trinketing deep freeze into HJ as Prankcat gets poly, but the damage just isn't there. And a blanket, MCS into a blanketed poly, maybe a little bit too soon on that, but it could be enough to score a kill. Prankcat out of CC though, able to get Stolen Kiss back up just barely as Toes eats a Strangulate, and they're going to try to put some pressure out on the nearly Pooks. That was a big deal that they interrupted his Evocate earlier.
It definitely was, because he needs mana to do anything as a mage. I mean, he's going to have his gems, of course, being able to get mana back here and there. And we see a bomb coming out. Looks like they're going to go on Toes again. It seems like the strategy that Team Rocket is going to be using.
Yep, and it's the smart strategy for sure. He starts to cast there. You see that grip interrupt. Stolen Kiss out of CC now.
Oh, and look at Gucci Low getting solo with that blanket counter spell on top of him, barely getting out of that. And the Icebound Fortitude up 10,000 hit points, and he is going to go down. Players are going to keep playing out the match, though, because, you can still come back from 2-3s in World of Warcraft Arena.
Yep, it's very possible. I mean, Rogue could get some damage out on Toes and lock it down, but there's just so much CC coming out of the Mage and Warlock. It's probably going to be pretty difficult here, especially on the Grand. it would take some pretty major positioning mistakes by Skill Cap to just flat lose this. And that deep freeze on the Prank Cat is what did it. They finally caught him without cooldowns and just popped him into a 5-second deep freeze. And that's pretty much all they needed to close the gap on Gucci with no AMS.
And look at that. Paladin is going to die with this onslaught of damage right at the end. He's going to play it all the way out, though. Good manners right there. All right.
Look at the damage.
So that means Skill Cap going to take the first round. These, of course, these are best of threes, which means one more Skill Cap